Hi friends! Today is Drac's birthday and she's one of my wonderful patrons. Her favorite thing is when I make videos talking about whatever. So here's a video about whatever. I have a concert tonight, so I'm going to Walmart to pick up a few things. There's a guy in front of the store who's so nice and cleans all the grocery carts, and he just asked me if it was dry enough for me. So I really like him. So I am looking. I guess I should get some Halloween candy while I'm here. If we get this one, my family will probably eat it though. We hardly get any trick-or-treaters. It's sad. So tonight's concert, we are standing the entire first half, and I'm really worried about it because it hurts my feet a lot. So I'm gonna see if I can find some insoles that'll work with my dress shoes. So the insoles don't come out of my shoes, but I think there might still be enough room for these. I'm getting these because Carmen was complaining about a teacher who pronounces this Reese's. I said, does she call it Reese's Pieces? I've been annoying her with a creepy doll all month, and I'm gonna see how I can incorporate that somehow. We could use some snacks backstage that aren't sugar. I still had my mask on when I came outside, and this guy walked by me, and he is probably 30 to 40 feet away, and he smells like he has taken a bath in cologne. I'm glad I didn't have to be inside the store with him. So see how my face is red? I get overheated from wearing my mask. The other night we had a 3-hour rehearsal with our masks on, and my friends looked worried and asked if they could do anything for me, and I was just way too hot. Then we found out the venue said we can sing on stage without our masks. So our second 3-hour rehearsal, we got to rehearse without a mask on. It was such a huge relief, and it gets really hot on stage too, so thank goodness. We still have to wear them backstage, which is going to be interesting because we're supposed to wear stage makeup. We'll walk on stage, take our masks off, put them in our folder, and then we have to put them back on as we're walking back off stage, which I think is going to involve a lot of fumbling around as people try to put them on with one hand. I'm so sick of this whole thing. It's so ridiculous. Gonna go home, have some breakfast, and get a little bit of cleaning done, but I don't want to overdo it because I don't want to exhaust myself before the concert tonight. I didn't get a bag for my stuff because our state now requires stores to charge 8 cents per bag, and they have to tax us for it too. So I did self-checkout, and it said, how many bags are you getting? 0! I use those grocery sacks for my bathroom garbage and stuff. Now I have to buy small plastic bags that are probably not any better for the environment than the grocery ones. I'm sitting on the floor like those young vloggers in their 20s. My tripod broke though because the vacuum cleaner fell over, hit the tripod, and then the tripod fell over and part of it snapped. Looks nice, right? I don't know how people sit on the floor. I haven't been able to sit on the floor comfortably since I gave birth to Jared. I think he broke my tailbone on the way out. Andrew did the demo of the tile, and then my husband did a drywall patch. He still needs to do another layer of mud after he sands. And I'll show you what else we've done in here. Here's a very heavy bin of drywall scraps. We have a dimmer switch. Actually, it toggles at the bottom too. Whew, that's really bright. All right, this is boring. We ended up getting 2 boob lights. There was a 2-pack of these, and it was really cheap. And I decided other things were the priority. I figured we only need 1 light to dim in this room. But the 2 bright lights came in really handy for being able to see while we were painting. We're not going to paint that wall because it's going to be covered with cabinets and shelves and stuff. This wall is now a light gray. It's a agreeable gray by Sherwin-Williams. My husband's going to put crown molding at the top ceiling is just white. Sabrina helped paint the windowsill, and baseboards are painted. That wall right there, what's that called? I keep forgetting what that's called, but that's going to be painted. I gave it a really good cleaning just a few weeks ago, so it's all ready to be painted. This is that black plate that was over the fireplace, and now you see why it was there, because it covers all of that ugliness. So we're still discussing the design of everything, and it's kind of hard to communicate to each other what we envision. And my husband has different ideas, and I've told him I need him to do a sketch for me so I know exactly what he means. So as you can see, this was a red accent wall years ago, and around the old tile we could see a little bit of that red paint, so we already knew that had been there. But wow, that is very red. And Andrew removed the baseboards there, and this will allow the cabinets to go flat against the wall. Oh yeah, you can also see the red paint on the old light switch. I'm still trying to figure out what my style is after years and years of living in apartments and not really being allowed to change things up, and all of the furniture being hand-me-down furniture. We've lived a very practical life. This bookcase has been sitting in the hallway. It was right there, but we had to get out of the way. There are 2 bookcases over there full of stuff. We had to move those out. And when we ran out of boxes, we just started carrying stuff and putting it on the dining room table. There are the bookcases. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through those boxes right there, and I'm gonna put stuff on the shelves that we definitely want to keep. And that'll use the boxes for donations or going to half-price books to see what I can sell. They also buy back board games and video games and movies and that sort of thing. So this is gonna be a long process. We have the popcorn machine in here, another stack of books, more games. Needless to say, I'm feeling overwhelmed and feeling far away from my goal to get the whole house decluttered. But I'm looking forward to having a beautiful space around the fireplace. That's just been my big dream. All right, so there's that bookcase with all the games and stuff on it. Also has some movies and video games. And stuff has just been piled over there too. So I just want to deal with some of that today, and maybe I'll take a shower first. I'm more concerned with getting ready for my concert than anything, but I don't want to come home to the kitchen looking like this. This is much better. I'm not going to do foundation. I'm just going to do blush, because I don't want a foundation all over my mask. Stage makeup, you're supposed to go darker than you normally would. I don't see a difference. We're going to be wearing these yellowish greenish scarves, and I don't know if I should try to kind of match that. I haven't done makeup in so long. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I'll do a base of this lavender color, I guess. It'll match the dark circles under my eyes. I'm going to do this teal color. You can see it in the creases. So out of practice. It'll look good once I blend it, right? So with it being Halloween this month, we've been watching lots of movies, and the other night I watched When a Stranger Calls, and then I made Carmen watch it with me, and it drove her crazy. Because the babysitter makes lots of stupid mistakes. Okay, how about pink at the top? Light pink. So Spoiler alert. There's a creepy man calling the house over and over again. Really? And the babysitter, she does try calling the parents. She tries calling her dad. She calls friends, and the friends are all at a bonfire that she wasn't allowed to go to for some reason. How does this look? And then she calls the police, and the police say, well, we can't do anything if he's not making any threats or anything like that. And I feel like once the guy called from her friend's phone after her friend supposedly left, that should have been a good reason to call the police again. But no, she left that out, and the police officer, who turns out to be Roy from the office, he says they can trace the call as long as she stays on the phone for a minute. Once she finally manages to do that, he calls her and says, he's inside the house. Of course he's inside the house. But rather than get straight to the murders, he decides he just wants to scare her for a while and give her chances to get away, I guess. Anyway, it brought back memories from when I babysat for this family, starting from when I was 11 years old and I lived right next door to them. That was really convenient because I could just walk home. I didn't have to get a ride home. But once we moved to a different house in the neighborhood, the family still asked me to babysit, and usually the mom would pick me up and the dad would drive me home. But I hated riding in the car with him. There's nothing creepy that he said to me or inappropriate. He just creeped me out. Crap. Got my eyeball. Every time. Okay. Maybe I should use a mirror for this. Anyway, when I babysat those kids, I told them they were not allowed to answer the phone when I was babysitting, because in case someone creepy did call, I didn't want them to know that there were no adults present. One day the phone rang and Carl went running for the phone, and I was yelling at him to stop, and he went and did it anyway. Picked up the phone, and then he said, no, but my babysitter's here. So I picked up the phone, and it was some guy's voice, and I couldn't hear the first thing he said. And I said, excuse me? And then he said, do you have big boobs? I yelled, buzz off, creep, and hung up on him. And I was very disturbed because it sounded exactly like the kid's father. And there was no way in heck I was going to be there when he got back. And so I tried calling my parents. They didn't answer, and I kept calling people. Luckily, I had a bunch of numbers memorized, and our friend Janice answered, and I said, Janice, please come pick me and the kids up. I got a creepy phone call, and I never babysat for them after that again. And then, I think it was weeks later, the same guy called my house. So obviously it was someone who knew who I was and knew my number and happened to know that I was babysitting. I am 99.9% sure that it was the dad who called me. So, no, I didn't wait to see if the creep would call back again. So if there had been a movie about it, it would have been a very short and boring movie. I have to go do this in the mirror. Okay, I cleaned it up a little bit with some makeup remover. Maybe once I put the mascara on, it'll look better. Oh my gosh. I don't think I'm going to do anything with my eyebrows because every time I do, it looks stupid to me. So the concert's not until 7:30, but we have to be there at 4:45 because we have to do sound check on stage, and we also have to show our vaccine cards, and we have to sign something declaring that we have No symptoms of COVID whatsoever. The last time I did this lipstick, it looked so lopsided, it was hilarious. See the shape of the top there. Again, I should probably use a mirror. You let this dry as if it were nail polish. Okay, so you let it dry. This glossy stuff goes over the top. And I can eat with this on as long as I don't eat anything greasy. So the nice thing is I can drink water backstage and not have to reapply. It won't get on my mask. I will need to reapply the gloss. I have to tell you something embarrassing. I'm not putting this in my hair. Well, maybe a little. I'm gonna apply it to my eyebrows. The fun thing about getting older, and I just recently read about this, is you get white eyebrow hairs. And they tend to go in interesting directions. So just put some hairspray on this brush and then brush your eyebrows the way you want them to go. I don't see anything right now, but oh my gosh, the other day I looked in the mirror and I thought I had a hair here that was like sticking to my eyebrow, and I went to wipe it away and I realized, holy crap, there is like a 2-inch long white hair suddenly sticking out. I took a photo of it, but it wasn't very good lighting and the background was too light to see it well. But I sent it to one of my best friends and with an arrow pointing to the end of it. Seriously, this thing appeared overnight. Oh, I also found a much longer one growing out of my abdomen. Once again, I went to brush off what I thought was a loose hair. Now I'm supposed to safety pin 2 elastics to my dress to the seams of the shoulders, and then I put the scarf through the loops. Someone's gonna help me fix this scarf. I don't know if I did this right. I don't know if we're supposed to flip it behind or what. I just found out there's a power outage that's affecting traffic lights, so we gotta run. We made it to Seattle safely. We are backstage. I forgot to show you what happens when you sing with a mask on. I mean, if you're gonna sing properly, you gotta be able to open your mouth. So we're singing this German song. So actually, this one stayed on my face. But I had one that was falling off my face the other night, and it was hilarious. It's almost midnight now, and this is how my lipstick held up. I didn't reapply the gloss or anything, so it's pretty amazing. And the concert was wonderful. I just wish there had been more people there. Jared had a solo, and he was amazing, and I'm so proud of him. I'm always on a high after our concerts, and it's really hard to unwind and fall asleep. So I better start working on that because I have to wake up at 6:30. I'm back in my glamorous Bite Me nightgown, and I mostly took my makeup off. I just couldn't get it all off. And I think I might be able to fall asleep soon. It's the morning after our concert. Amazingly, I'm not sore and I'm not even very tired. I think it's because I'm so excited for Christmas. Our music librarian gave us our Christmas music last week at rehearsal, and I seriously started crying because last year we didn't have Christmas devotionals or anything. Last year was the first time I didn't sing any Christmas music for church or anything, and I bawled my head off. Right, so we also have to pull out some music that we've already done before. I think it's blocked off by all the stuff in the music room. So I have until Thursday. I can do it. I love that Sabrina decided to do this puzzle on the clean counter. Isn't that cute? And it has all the pieces, which is even better. She never finishes her oatmeal, but she said she was full. Obviously, I can't celebrate Drac's birthday without a proper dessert. I'm going to teach you how to make pumpkin cheesecake trifle. You can also make it in little cups, but I really love the way it looks in the giant trifle dish. It calls for Biscoff cookies, but sometimes I can't find those. So I'll use graham crackers, or cinnamon graham crackers, ginger snaps. I really liked it with the ginger snaps. And I think one time I did Nilla wafers. Obviously there's cream cheese involved. It calls for Cool Whip, but I don't like Cool Whip. So I'm gonna make my own whipped cream, a big buttload of it, pumpkin pie spice, and sugar. Not that much sugar. A friend gave me a subscription to this site called Plan to Eat, and I love it. You can import recipes from websites and you can enter your own, and I spent a ton of time last year doing that. Do you hear my refrigerator buzzing? I think it's the bane of my existence. Don't buy Samsung refrigerators. Anyway, I doubled this recipe to make it in the giant dish, and my family will be very pleasantly surprised that I made this and wonder what the occasion was. So thank you for having a birthday, Drac. While the cream cheese softens, you go and pay the bills that you've been putting off. I just logged onto my bank account and I have a deposit from the IRS that I don't understand. So they've been doing that child tax credit in advance, but there's another deposit for $1,400, and this is IRS Treas 310. Not that I mind having money deposited into our account, but it makes me worry that it was a mistake. So I think I'll put it in savings until I figure out what it's for. And actually, I should just put money in savings anyway. Gonna make the crumbs. Pulse it. I got this for Christmas last year, and it's Hamilton Beach. I've used this less than 10 times, and the puree button doesn't work. So maybe it's not that important because you can just hold the button. But still, that's kind of irritating. 2 tablespoons of butter, and then I will stir in as many graham cracker crumbs as what looks right to me. Looks like my microwave needs to be cleaned again. So I'm gonna take some of this and I'm just gonna press it in the bottom of the trifle dish. Actually, I'm gonna make some small ones for my parents. I think this was a wedding gift. I love it. I love that it survived all this time. It's not like I'm making an actual crust here. And I'm gonna sprinkle some in between the layers. First you beat the cream cheese till it's smooth. Add my cup of sugar. You know why cooking shows look so easy? It's because everything's pre-measured. Adding 2 cups of pumpkin. It's organic, so that makes this recipe good for you. Gonna have to scrape this with a spoon. 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. I already did one of them. And then 4 teaspoons pumpkin pie spice. And we're gonna whip that up. All right, that's quite smooth. Now I'm gonna change out these attachments to make the whipped cream. Use heavy whipping cream. I changed it out for this one. There's already sugar in the pumpkin mixture, so we don't want too much sugar in the whipped cream. See how it's kind of ripply on top now? What we're gonna do next is, actually I'm doing it. Why do people say that? What we're gonna do next? I'm gonna add some of this whipped cream to the pumpkin mixture and then reserve the other part for layering the pumpkin and whipped cream. This will lighten the pumpkin up a lot. So we're gonna fold it in. You cut it down the middle and then come underneath and you turn the bowl and you just keep repeating the process. Since my tripod broke, I have to do everything with one hand. You get the idea. You do this until it is well incorporated. All right, that's what it looks like now. It's beautiful and fluffy. So yes, there is no baking involved, and this is hard to do while filming. And I still have some leftover pumpkin, which always annoys me, because what do you do with just a tiny bit of pumpkin? Some people add it to their hot chocolate. The question is, if I put it in my refrigerator to use for later, will I remember it's there? Probably not. Now I'm gonna add a sprinkle of, whoops. It's gonna be covered, doesn't matter. Sprinkle of graham cracker. And after I repeated the layers several times, one final sprinkle of graham cracker. And then I'm going to put it in the fridge from hell to chill. Ta-da! And this is what my kitchen looks like now. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Drac. Happy birthday to you.
A trickster fire.